Have you ever had one of those days where everything feels like it's in slow motion? Not because you're taking it easy, but because your body just doesn't seem to bounce back the way it used to? Maybe your joints ache a little more in the morning, or your energy runs out by lunchtime. You're not alone in that feeling. And the truth is, it's not just age catching up with you. Sometimes, it's the small habits we don't even notice that quietly chip away at our health. You see, most of us are doing our best to stay well. We try to eat a little better, maybe get out for a walk, take our vitamins, keep the doctor appointments. But there are hidden patterns in our daily routine, tiny things, that can add up over time and actually shorten our lifespan without us even realizing it. And that's what we're talking about today. Not the big, obvious stuff, but the sneaky things, the habits that hide in plain sight, like uninvited guests at your kitchen table. These are the surprising longevity killers that may be sitting right in your routine, and once you spot them, you can do something about them. Let's begin with one that often slips right under the radar. Sitting. Yes, sitting. Too much of it. Now, don't get me wrong. Rest is important. After a long day, there's nothing wrong with putting your feet up and enjoying a good book or a favorite TV show. But the problem starts when sitting becomes the main activity of the day. Many folks over 60 spend most of their time seated, during meals, reading, watching television, talking on the phone. And while it might feel harmless, the body doesn't like to stay still for too long. Our muscles weaken, our blood flow slows down, and our metabolism takes a nap right along with us. Studies have shown that prolonged sitting, even if you exercise, can increase your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. But the good news? You don't have to start running marathons or doing backflips. Just get up and move every hour or so. Walk around the house. Stretch your legs. Water the plants. Dance in the kitchen for a minute if you're feeling silly. Movement, even gentle movement, remind your body that you're alive and well, and that you intend to stay that way. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you even more. How you start your day. You see, many people wake up and reach straight for the news, scrolling headlines on their phones or turning on the television. And while it's good to stay informed, flooding your brain with stress first thing in the morning sets a tone of anxiety and worry for the rest of the day. You may not even realize it, but your heart rate goes up, your body tenses, and you start to feel on edge, all before your first sip of coffee. Day after day, this kind of emotional stress adds up. It wears down your immune system. It raises your blood pressure. It can even interfere with sleep later that night. Imagine instead starting your morning with something that fills you up instead of drains you. Maybe a favorite song, a quiet moment on the porch, a few deep breaths, or even writing down one thing you're grateful for. These little moments of peace aren't just nice, they're medicine. They lower inflammation in the body. They improve brain function. They remind your system that you're safe, calm, and in control. And that brings us to another habit that often hides in plain sight: skipping meals, especially breakfast. It might not seem like a big deal. Maybe you just weren't hungry or got busy. But as we age, our bodies rely more and more on regular fuel. Skipping meals can throw off your blood sugar, zap your energy, and slow your metabolism. Over time, it can even lead to muscle loss, which becomes harder to recover from in later years. Even a light breakfast, a little yogurt, some fruit, a slice of whole grain toast, can give your body the signal that it's time to wake up, fuel up, and face the day. And if you're someone who tends to lose your appetite in the morning, try preparing something the night before that's easy and comforting. A warm bowl of oatmeal or a smoothie you can sip on slowly can do wonders. But let's not forget one of the most powerful habits of all, the way we talk to ourselves. You might be thinking, what does self-talk have to do with longevity? More than you'd imagine, because every day, the thoughts we think shape the way our bodies behave. If you wake up thinking, I'm getting old, I'm slowing down, or my best years are behind me, your body hears that. Your cells hear it. Your energy follows that belief. But if you shift that inner voice just a little to something like, I still have a lot to enjoy, or today I'm going to do one thing that makes me feel good, it changes your chemistry. Your brain produces more feel-good hormones. Your muscles relax. Your motivation rises. you begin to look for the good, and that habit alone can keep you healthier longer than you might believe. These hidden habits, sitting too much, starting your day with stress, skipping meals, and feeding yourself negative thoughts, they may seem small, but they can quietly shape the course of your health over time. The key is catching them, not with guilt, not with shame, but with awareness and curiosity. Because once you notice them, you can gently begin to choose differently. And when you do, you give yourself the gift of more time. Not just more years, but more energy, more connection, more joy. Now that we've talked about a few of the habits that quietly steal energy and vitality from our days, let's keep going. There are more subtle patterns worth noticing, ones that might be hiding right in front of you, like the habit of constant multitasking. Now, that might sound like something only younger folks deal with, running around, juggling work and errands. But even in retirement, the pressure to do several things at once can sneak in. Maybe you're checking your messages while cooking breakfast, or folding laundry while trying to listen to the TV, or organizing papers while chatting on the phone. It may seem harmless, even productive, but there's a hidden cost. When we constantly split our attention, our brain doesn't actually process things more efficiently. In fact, it can create mental fatigue. You end up feeling more drained, more forgetful, and sometimes even more anxious. Multitasking gives your brain no real rest. It's like leaving the engine running all day long, even when the car isn't moving. And over time, that steady hum of stress affects everything: memory, heart health, sleep, and even your mood. So what's the alternative? Try doing just one thing at a time and fully doing it. If you're enjoying your tea, just sit and enjoy your tea. Let the warmth, the taste, the quiet moment be enough. If you're watching your favorite show, let yourself really sink into it without scrolling through your phone at the same time. These moments of full attention are incredibly healing. They help restore clarity and calm. They remind your body that it's safe, that it can relax. And that peace, it's like fertilizer for longevity. Another hidden habit that many people don't realize is working against them is poor hydration. It sounds simple, right? Drink water. But the reality is, as we get older, our sense of thirst tends to fade. We don't always realize we're dehydrated until symptoms show up: headaches, low energy, dizziness, dry skin, even confusion. It sneaks in gradually, and because we're not necessarily sweating or exerting ourselves, it's easy to overlook. But your body depends on water for nearly every function. It helps flush out toxins, keeps your joints moving smoothly, aid digestion, and even cushions the brain. When we're low on fluids, the whole system slows down. We feel sluggish, we tire more easily, and over time it can strain the kidneys, the heart, and the immune system. The fix? Keep water nearby throughout the day. Not just when you're thirsty, before you get thirsty. Add a slice of lemon or cucumber to give a refreshing taste. Keep a gentle rhythm. A glass when you wake up, one mid-morning, one with lunch, one mid-afternoon, one at dinner, and maybe a few sips before bed. Even herbal teas or broths count. And if plain water doesn't excite you, find something hydrating that does. Just steer clear of sugary drinks or too much caffeine, which can have the opposite effect. Now, here's something that's especially important, and it might catch you off guard: too much time indoors. You might think, what's wrong with staying inside? It's cozy, it's safe, everything I need is here. And sure, there's comfort in home. But being indoors for too long, especially with minimal sunlight or fresh air, can quietly take a toll on both physical and mental health. Your body needs light, real daylight, to regulate its internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. This rhythm affects everything from your energy to your sleep quality to your hormone levels. Without regular exposure to natural light, that rhythm gets disrupted. You might find it harder to fall asleep or feel more tired during the day. Your mood might dip without you even realizing why. And then there's movement. Being outside, even for just 10 or 15 minutes, encourages you to walk a little, breathe deeper, feel more connected. Nature is deeply healing. Whether it's a short walk around the block, sitting on the porch, tending a few plants, or just watching clouds pass by, these moments recharge the spirit. They're like a gentle reset button for the soul. So if the weather's kind and your body allows, Step outside. Let your face feel the sun, even for a little while. Let your lungs fill with fresh air. Those small doses of nature are not just pleasant, they are powerfully restorative. You don't need a hike in the mountains to feel alive. Sometimes, just watching the leaves move in the breeze is enough. And while we're talking about daily patterns, there's one more subtle habit worth mentioning. And this one is all about connection, or rather, the quiet loss of it. As the years go on, it's easy for our social circles to shrink. People move, routines change, or health concerns make it harder to get out and about. Over time, you might find yourself spending more and more time alone. Now, a bit of solitude can be lovely, but when it becomes a norm, day after day with little conversation or laughter, it can take a toll on your health that's just as real as any physical condition. Loneliness can raise stress hormones, lower immune response, and even increase the risk of heart problems and memory decline. The good news is connection doesn't have to be grand. A simple phone call, a quick chat with a neighbor, a smile shared at the grocery store, these little exchanges have a big impact. Even sending a card, joining a community group, or watching a video like this can remind you that you're not alone, that you're still part of something bigger. It's also okay to be the one who reaches out first. Invite someone over for tea. Ask how they're doing. Tell someone what's on your mind. We all need each other, and even the smallest threads of connection can weave a sense of warmth and purpose into your day. These habits, multitasking, dehydration, staying indoors too much, and quiet disconnection, they're easy to overlook. But once you see them, really see them, you can begin to change them. Gently, kindly, with curiosity instead of criticism. And in doing so, you're not just avoiding harm. You're inviting vitality back into your life. There's one more pattern that often hides in plain sight, and it might just be the most surprising of all. Ignoring your own joy. That's right. Overlooking the things that bring you joy on a daily basis can quietly chip away at your vitality, energy, and even your lifespan. It's one of those things we tend to put off without even realizing we're doing it. We get used to routines. We focus on what's necessary. We tell ourselves we'll relax later, laugh later, enjoy ourselves later. But here's the truth. Joy isn't optional. It's essential, and your body knows it. When you experience joy, whether to chuckle from a funny memory, the satisfaction of solving a puzzle, the comfort of your favorite song, or the simple pleasure of watching birds out the window, your body responds. Your muscles relax. Your breathing deepens. Your brain releases chemicals that help repair cells, reduce inflammation, and boost immunity. You weren't meant to just survive. You were meant to feel alive, to feel moments of lightness, of creativity, of surprise. Yet when we go days or even weeks without that spark, without letting ourselves sing, dance, joke, or be playful, it becomes a kind of quiet weight. Over time, that emotional heaviness wears us down. Joy doesn't need to be loud or dramatic. You don't need to climb a mountain or throw a party. Sometimes, it's as simple as taking your morning coffee out on the porch instead of sitting by the TV, or turning on a favorite tune while doing the dishes and letting yourself sway with the rhythm, or picking up a hobby you used to love, painting, knitting, gardening, not to be productive, but simply because it makes you smile. Many people worry that joy has to be earned, that they can't relax until everything else is done. But here's something to remember. You don't need a reason to feel happy. You just need permission. Your permission. And if you feel like joy has been missing lately, like it's a distant memory or something only other people get to feel, that's okay. It's never too late to invite it back. Start small. Ask yourself each morning, what's one little thing I can do today just because it makes me feel good? Then do that thing. And tomorrow, do it again. When joy becomes part of your daily rhythm, your whole body responds. Your immune system gets stronger. Your mind stays sharper. Your heart feels lighter. You sleep better. And yes, you live longer, not just in years, but in quality. Because what's the point of adding more time if it's not filled with moments that make you smile? Now, maybe you're thinking, well, some of these things are easier said than done. That's completely true. Changing a routine, even a small one, takes courage. But here's what you need to hear. You're not starting from scratch. You already have the wisdom. You already have the strength. Everything you've lived through, everything you've overcome, it's built you into someone capable of choosing differently today. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to change everything overnight. Longevity isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. It's about gently noticing what's draining you and making space for what energizes you instead. It's about trading habits that slowly wear you down for ones that quietly lift you up. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive programs. You don't need to be younger, thinner, faster, or busier. What you need is presence, a willingness to tune in, to care for yourself the way you'd care for someone you love, because you deserve that same care, that same tenderness. Think of your daily routine like a garden. Some parts might be flourishing, while others need a little attention. There might be weeds, patterns you didn't realize were crowding out your joy or peace. But now that you see them, you can do something about them. Pull one here, water something there, create space for the sunlight to reach you again. And as you begin to shift, even slightly, you'll notice something magical. You'll start feeling more like yourself again. That version of you who used to laugh at silly jokes, who hummed while walking, who got excited about trying something new. That person is still there, maybe a little quieter, but never gone. The truth is, the path to longevity doesn't run through pressure or punishment. It runs through kindness, through slowing down and noticing what your body and spirit are asking for, through letting go of habits that keep you stuck in autopilot and replacing them with ones that awaken you. You've made it this far, and that's worth celebrating. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every quiet evening, they're signs of your resilience. And the years ahead can still be filled with wonder, discovery, even transformation. It's never too late to protect your health, to feel better, to reconnect with yourself and with life. So if something you heard today stirred something inside you, if you thought, yes, I've been doing that, or I want to change that, let that be your invitation, not to overhaul your life overnight, but to start noticing. One glass of water, one moment outside, one laugh, one breath of joy. All of these things add up, not just a longer life, but to a richer one, a life where you feel present, engaged, alive. And if you've been feeling like it's too late, or like your best days are behind you, please hear this. The best day can still be today. Not because it's perfect, but because you showed up for it with intention, with care, with curiosity. And that's something worth waking up for. Because showing up for yourself, even in small, quiet ways, is what makes all the difference. Not just in how long you live, but in how deeply you feel alive while you're here. Let's take a moment and really think about that. How many times have we brushed off little aches or feelings of restlessness, thinking they're just part of getting older? How often have we told ourselves, that's just the way things are now? But what if, instead of accepting those things as permanent, we saw them as signals, as gentle nudges from our bodies and minds asking for care, for change, for attention? You see, the small choices we make each day, the ones that seem so ordinary, are often the ones that shape our well-being the most. It's not always about the big things like surgeries or medications. It's about whether we stretch in the morning or stay slouched on the couch, whether we say yes to a walk with a neighbor or stay isolated out of habit, whether we eat mindlessly in front of the TV or take a moment to truly enjoy our meal. These choices, while subtle, either give life to our years or quietly drain them away. And sometimes we don't even notice the impact until something shifts, until we suddenly have more energy, sleep better, or feel more at peace just from adjusting a routine we didn't realize was wearing us down. What I want to remind you, and maybe even convince you of, is that you're not powerless. Your habits are not set in stone. No matter how long you've been doing something a certain way, today is still a brand new day. You still have the ability to make different choices. And those choices, even the tiniest ones, are powerful. Let's not underestimate what it means to choose presence over distraction, water over soda, conversation over silence, sunlight over the same view from a recliner. These aren't just lifestyle tweaks. They're acts of self-respect, of saying, I still matter, my health still matters. My joy still matters. And when you start believing that, when you truly begin to feel that your life is still worth investing in, something beautiful begins to happen. You don't just live longer, you start feeling more alive. Your eyes brighten. Your movements become lighter. Your laugh returns, maybe softer at first, but growing with each day you feed your spirit. Longevity doesn't mean dragging your body along for more years. It means waking up each morning and saying, I'm here. What would make today meaningful? It could be something as simple as writing a letter to an old friend, planting a flower, learning a new recipe, sitting in silence and breathing deeply just because you can. And when setbacks come, as they always do, you meet them with grace. Not because you're ignoring the hard parts, but because you're grounded in the quiet confidence that you're doing your part, that you're not giving up on your body, your mind, or your joy. That's the real secret. Longevity isn't a fight. It's a partnership between your heart and your habits, between your awareness and your actions, between the life you have and the life you want to keep living. So if you recognize yourself in anything we've talked about today, whether it's skipping breakfast, sitting too long, letting joy slip away, or rushing through life without checking in with yourself, please don't feel discouraged. Feel empowered, because now you see it. And what we see, we can change. Start with just one thing. Just one. Maybe today, you set a timer and get up every hour to stretch. Or you call someone who makes you smile. Or you leave your phone in another room and enjoy a quiet moment without distraction. These are not small acts. These are longevity tools. They are just as powerful, if not more so, than any supplement or treatment out there. And please share what you're learning. Tell your partner, your children, your friends. Start a conversation about the ways we can care for ourselves better, not from fear, but from love. Because love is what keeps us going. Love for life, for the people around us, for ourselves. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What small change are you inspired to make today? What habit have you let go of that made a difference in your energy or health? Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We're here to support you every step of the way with simple, heart-centered advice that helps you feel your best one day at a time. Remember, aging isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace with gentleness, with curiosity, and with the determination to live fully. Every single day you wake up is a new opportunity, a fresh start, a chance to care for yourself in a way that brings more ease, more light, and more joy. So here's to you, to your strength, your wisdom, your resilience, to the small steps you'll take today, and the big difference they'll make tomorrow. Here's to living your best life at any age, because you absolutely deserve that. Take care, stay curious, and keep choosing life, one beautiful moment at a time.